Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching our Tesla Lens, that is our Focus and Reveal. My name is Mila, and today we have an interesting topic of discussion. And today we shall be discussing about police and citizen rights. I'm with a guest that I want to bring on board so he can introduce himself before we start with the topic today. You're most welcome, sir.
Thank you so much, Jamila. You know, when we meet like this, it means that we're doing a lot for our country, Uganda. It means that we're doing what the voiceless cannot do. So, listeners outside there, my name is Joshua Okello. I'm a lawyer by training. I'm an ardent believer of rule of law, and I've been following closely the rule of law in our country, Uganda. So, today, we are having an ideal topic that will make the listeners, or those ones rather who are going to watch this video, galvanized, because what we're discussing here is the information that some of you may not be having.
Okay, thank you so much, Council Joshua, for that brief introduction. And we don't want to waste too much time. For now, I want to start with our questions. What rights does a citizen have when being arrested?
Well, thank you so much. Now, before I break it down, I would say the historical basis of rights of an accused person or a citizen in a layman's understanding started in the 1995 when our constitution was drafted and spearheaded by the retired Chief Justice Benjamin Odoki. So during that time, so many things or so many laws were written in the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda. And the reason as why those laws were written was to safeguard the Ugandans from unlawful acts, from illegal acts, or from acts that can probably take someone to a wrong direction, or acts that can violate the rights of another person. So talking about the rights of a citizen, there's so many rights that a citizen can have. Number one, let me start with when you're there, usually sometimes they can keep you there, detain you there as a suspect. But also on the other hand, however much you're taken as a suspect, the law also gives the accused person rights. When you read Article 23, Clause 4 of the 1995 Constitution, it clearly states that the accused person is not supposed to stay in the custody beyond 48 hours. In the event that you're kept there in a period more than 48 hours, you're supposed to be produced to court. In other words, you should not go beyond 48 hours. When you're approaching 48 hours, you're supposed to be produced in court. That's what the law says. In the event that they don't produce you in court, the police are supposed to issue for you what is called a police bond. They release you on bond, then you just keep on reporting. If they've not done that, or if they go beyond that period of time, that detention is therefore considered as an illegal detention, which violates the rights of an accused person, according to the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda.
Okay, thank you so much for that explanation. And is police allowed to arrest a suspect without a warrant?
As far as the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda is concerned, and as far as we are protected by the laws of Uganda, the police are not supposed to arrest a suspect without an arrest warrant. It's like when I come to you, I come to your home, let's say I knock the gate, then for you is inside, you ask that, who's that? I just keep quiet. Will you open for me? You will eventually not open for me because you're not sure of me. So I have to introduce myself, and it's upon making an introduction that you'll eventually open for me the gate. But if I come without doing that, you will eventually not give me attention. So it's totally legal. You see, usually even in the toilet when you're going always, you first have to knock. the reason as why you knock is to make that knocking means an introduction, letting the person inside that I'm outside, or inquiring whether there is someone inside there. So if the police do that, it means it's totally legal and it violates the rights of a citizen. They're not supposed to do that. But I've seen always scenarios where police, of course, do that. You find they come and arrest you. You try then to resist the arrest like this. They end up torturing you. You ask, why are you taking me? They tell you, no, you are going to answer from there. You see, no one is above the law. So it's really too common with the police, especially our police in Uganda here. I'm sorry to say that. Of course, I'm not saying that all the police do that, but it's just a few of them who do that. They violate usually the rights of an accused person.
Okay, for that scenario, I also wanted to add on something. Like there's a scenario I witnessed.
Yeah.
Like police came to one place and they wanted to conduct arrest. But on reaching the place, the gate was locked. Upon reaching the gate, they knocked and they were not open. So the police decides to jump over the fence. So was that right as a police officer, or it was against?
Jumping in the compound.
Yeah, like he passed through the fence,
Yes.
coming through, like the police coming over the fence. Yes. Was that right of a police officer, or it was illegal of him?
First of all, what time was it?
It was during morning hours, around 11 a.m.
Was the accused person there?
Yes.
Are they noticed that the accused person is there?
I think there was someone who had tipped them, so they had to jump over the fence.
Of course, there would be no problem with the jumping, but the question of interest is, when they jumped inside, did they make an introduction to the accused person?
He never had the ID or what, and like to show that this is a police, and they just rushed to the suspect and they're like, you're under arrest.
Then that was totally wrong. The police were wrong. They violated the law.
Because they came as a group. Like I think two jumped over the fence.
Yes.
Then the one who was with a gun,
Yes.
was the one now who passed through the gate.
Yes.
So this one's jumped over to one open for the other.
Yes.
So the other with the gun came in, and now the suspect now had come down.
Yes.
Because upon seeing the other with the gun, the person now had to relax. And
Yes.
so I don't know, was that right for the ones that jumped over the fence, or it was illegal for them?
Of course, they must have jumped inside with the reason that no one responded.
Okay.
That would not be an issue. But the question of interest is, when they jumped inside, did they follow the rules of procedure? Because, yes, I've jumped. After jumping, what do you do next? Introduce yourself as a policeman, show the arrest warrant to the accused. Those are the steps that they were meant to follow. Because, when you do not follow the procedures, then you're not meant to keep law and order. No one is above the law. So those are the stages that they were supposed to follow. Yes, you can jump inside as a policeman with your own reasons. Maybe the other one was not responding, which is agreeable. But the question is, when you jumped inside, did you introduce yourself to the other one as a policeman? Did you follow the legal criminal procedures or the procedures of making an arrest on a suspect?
Okay, thank you so
in
much.
In the event that he did not follow that, or they did not follow that, it therefore means that that arrest was illegal. It is instead maybe termed as kidnap, for example, or abduction.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And what rights does a citizen have if they feel their rights are violated during the arrest?
Now, there's so many rights that a citizen may have, whether you're on wrong or not on wrong. First of all, when it comes to bail, when you read the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, still Article 23, Clause 6, it talks about bail. First of all, when you're being arrested and let me say taken to prison and remanded for 60 days for an offense triable in the lower court, or 180 days for an offense triable in the high court, you're mandated to be released on bail. You get the point? If you're taken there, you spend 60 days for an offense, I repeat, triable in the lower court, or 180 days for an offense triable in the high court. The law allows you to get mandatory bail. You get the point? So those are the rights. Because sometimes there are scenarios whereby you're being arrested, they take you, of course, police, court, from court, they push you to prison, then from there they just keep you on a suspense. You're there, you don't know what happens, you get the point. So a situation like that one, if you take like 160 days, still I repeat, for an offense triable in the lower court, or 180 days for an offense triable in the high court, the court or the law guarantees you or gives you a mandate to get what we call mandatory bail. So that's what the law says. Then also on the other hand, there is also a scenario whereby you find that you are arrested over maybe an offense that you have not committed. They push you there. In the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, there's what we call the laws of habeas corpus. Now, according to the laws of habeas corpus, it clearly states that when you're being arrested or kept in prisons for an offense which is not true, you are mandated or you have a right to file an application in order, or an application requesting the judge to issue a writ of habeas corpus. So when you file that and the judge finds reasonable or solid grounds on your application, you will then be released in such a scenario. I mean, in that scenario also, you get the point?
Yes.
Yeah, so the laws of habeas corpus also gives you a mandate, because sometimes they can arrest you, take you there, maybe over what you don't know. Yeah, so the only way you can do is maybe get a lawyer or maybe a close friend that can do that. If you're maybe behind bars, then they file that. So when they file that, of course, after, if the solid grounds are there, a judge therefore can issue a writ of habeas corpus, issuing an order for you to be released. That's what happens also.
And under what circumstances are police allowed to do a search in someone's house or vehicle?
Now, you see, there are usually different types of crimes. You see, there's a crime that requires the police to do that, and you ask under what circumstances. Now, that one depends on maybe what the accused is charged of.
Okay.
Now, there are cases, offenses like maybe murder. That one is a capital offense. So there the law gives the police the mandate to do.
Okay.
You get the point? So when they come and do that search, the law actually gives them a mandate to do that, because it's a capital offense. It's a serious offense. Then also there are other offenses like robbery. It also gives the police a mandate to do that.
Okay, what is the role of a lawyer when a person is being arrested? What role does he play when a person is arrested?
First of all, a lawyer is supposed to represent. You get the point? Of course, when they are coming to arrest you, professionally, when you're a lawyer, you cannot stop the police from doing their work. If it's due diligence or investigations, you cannot stop them as long as they're doing it in line with the law or in line with the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda. So if they come and tell you, we're arresting you because of ABCD, show the arrest warrant, follow the rule of procedure. As a lawyer, of course, a professional lawyer, you let them proceed with what they are doing. Then now, for you as a lawyer, you come at the rightful time. Or maybe when your client is taken to the police custody, that's when you will go there and you begin from there and maybe follow up with the file.
Okay, and what legal actions does a person take when they are unlawfully arrested?
What legal action does a person take when they are unlawfully arrested?
Yes.
Just as I said earlier on that any unlawful arrest or detention, it's illegal. Now, in a situation that you are arrested illegally and detained, and maybe an order of writ of habeas corpus is issued,
Yes.
you, as an accused person, has a right to claim for compensation in the event that you're being released, and in the event that they've confirmed you're not on wrong. The law gives you a mandate to claim for compensation from an authority or the government or the person who had arrested you earlier on. You get the point? Yes.
Okay. What advice would you give to suspects while cooperating with the police during the arrests?
My advice is suspect is number one, when the police come and arrest you as a citizen and as someone who's under the umbrella of the Ugandan Constitution, don't just accept to move. The first question you ask the police is, do you have the arrest warrant?
Okay.
Then secondly also, if the policeman or the police rather have not made an introduction, ask them to introduce themselves. Don't just accept to move. Ask them the arrest warrant, ask them to make an introduction, ask them the charge, the reason as why they're taking you and where they're taking you. So in the event that they respond, like show you the arrest warrant, give reasonable answers to your questions, that's when now you'll accept to move with them. But in the event that they don't do that, then you are at liberty to resist the arrest. You get the point. Though in such scenarios always you find maybe they've come with a 99 police patrol car, and try to resist like this, they use force. Yes, at that particular point they can use force. But then after, you can also open up a case against them, because no one is above the law. Like if it's done to me, you can torture me, you can beat me, you can even force me, throw me in the car. But remember, the moment I come out like this, I will also put you inside. We battle ourselves even till when we reach where there is God. I will not leave you.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for that educative message. And maybe any last message that you have for the viewers as we wind up with the topic.
I think my last message is viewers outside there, fellow Ugandans and fellow countrymen and women, let's learn how to obey our laws of Uganda. Let's learn how to respect our 1995 Constitution. You know, when you respect the law, it becomes very easy for you to do anything. But when you don't respect, you can easily fall in trouble. And on the other hand also, let's learn how to understand our rights. And I'm happy, that's the reason as why I'm here. We are here to make people understand their rights. Because sometimes also, you can be ignorant of the law. And of course, you know, yes, they get you, you assume maybe you're wrong, yet in reality maybe you're not wrong.
Police,
yes. You know, these days we have fraudsters, we have con men. People can come masquerading like policemen as a way of extracting money from you. You understand? So my advice is, let's learn how to obey the law. Let's learn how to respect our constitution, because when we do that, everything becomes easy. So we have to be disciplined, we have to abide by the law. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for watching Tessolence. It has been an interesting topic with our counsel Joshua Patrick Okello, and of course your host Mila. And I would like to ask you, request you, please don't forget to always subscribe, follow, like, and share. And you can get us on our Facebook page, TikTok, and X. I remain your host, Mila, and of course, not forgetting our producer, Rick Rawlings, and the entire team of Tessolence. See you next time.